Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Motors TV. It's round 2 of the evening from Laguna Seca circuit. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Pro Series presented by Engine Oil Direct. Andrew Woodhouse with iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. Alex, it wasn't the most exciting of race 1s ever. We had a bit of an incident at the start, but race 2 should be spiced up greatly with the reverse grid draw.
Yeah, I like your way of explaining a bit of an incident at the start. So pretty much 4 or 5 real big collisions there. But actually the caution settled it down a little bit, and the restart there just really proved and showed that everybody was going to struggle to overtake around here tonight. I mean, it is a short track, but normally you can get passes done in these Kias. I mean, drivers were able to. Down into turn 1 and then really into the final turn we saw a couple as well. So it's going to be tough for the guys who are on the reverse sort of Sebastian Wojciech way back there in 22nd place. So it's going to be really tricky for them.
So the full grid of Kias takes to the Laguna Seca circuit once again. As the revs are rising here, the red lights are on.
Green, green, green.
And once again the green light is on. Paul Smith got a beautiful start from the outside of the front row. He's already into the lead. Streaming down towards the double apex left-hander. 3 wide in some places, but a caution needs to be exercised here, boys. Oh, somebody's lost it in the middle of the pack, I think.
Pretty much the same sort of scenarios we saw the last race, just as everybody checks up to get into that first turn, then the whole pack that's flowing in much faster approach just get a little out of shape trying to get their car slowed down a bit earlier than they expected to.
I think whoever it was may have saved it. Paul Smith leads by over a second already from Kevin Noon. Up the inside goes Whitehead, Andrew Whitehead in the left-hander coming up the hill, and he forces Noon to yield that position. John Roberts, second place in the AM category, he's going to come through as well, and that's a bit tight in there. It was too tight for them all. I think they've gone.
Yeah, Noon spun around there. He will not be happy with that. He waits to get himself
is Roberts still running?
onto the circuit. Yeah, Roberts is still going.
Who was it that got involved with him? With Noon?
I'm not sure who it was directly behind. Just trying to see. I thought it was one of the friction cars, so I'm not really sure who was in and around there at that particular time. So
Paul Smith will be licking his chops, Alex. He's miles in front at the moment. He already leads by
whopping 2.8 seconds. I mean, that's just crazy. That's exactly what you want. I mean, poor Kevin, he'll be absolutely gutted with that. As Laidler goes for a move on Whitehead into turn 1. Great move. Just late. I think Whitehead.
It's Roberts that he's got through, Alex, there. And then two-time champion Ellis Stevens. He is in 5th and it's now 4th ahead of Roberts. So Roberts going slightly backwards, but we've seen he tends to have better pace at the end of races in that Engine Oil Direct car. So Paul Smith leads for STEM Sim Racing. Then it's Andrew Whitehead for Engine Oil Direct. John Roberts Sorry, it's Russell Laidler in third for GT Omega. Then it's Power Max Sim Racing, Ellis Stevens. And then it's John Roberts for Engine Oil Direct in 5th place. A little check on our championship contenders. Jamie Rushworth has got up to 14th place. He's having a go on Steve Walker now.
Czapaleski was off through the tricky left-hander. I think that was Dave Baker was involved in that as well. Sorry, yes, Dave was off, and they're all checking up, going through the corkscrew right now. Very, very tricky in there.
Kaiser very wide coming out of the corkscrew down this beautiful section that I was just talking about before the race, and it looks like the number oh goodness me, 41 car of Colin Cunniff under a hell of a lot of pressure now.
Oh, that's Kaiser getting bumped around there as well. He's managed to save it for the most part.
Nothing new there then, is there?
Yeah, but he's gonna lose a lot of momentum there.
That's Baker there. Has Andreas Katz been in the wars as well? No, he's yeah, well he has. He's got front damage on that Kia, Alex. It looks a bit nasty on the front.
This is ridiculously close up the front here as well. Just looking at a battle between Laura Bond, Sebastian Job, Simon Field, Richard Gore, Jamie Rushworth's in there, Hunt's in there as well. They were sort of 2 by 2 by 2s just for a moment there, all trying to filter out.
Svidovic up to 18th place as well. He's just overtaken Colin Cunniff. Colin Cunniff driving for Friction Racing now, very established sim racing team. Smith leads, Whitehead second, Laidler third, Stevens fourth. Fifth is no, in fact that's wrong, isn't it? The Laidler and Stevens have both got ahead of Whitehead, so it's Smith, then Laidler, then Stevens, then Whitehead. John Roberts in 5th, 6th is Jay Wright, 7th Laura Bond, but she's under a heck of a lot of pressure now from, is that Sebastian? How has he got up there in one lap? He was 3 positions further back at the start of this lap, and he's just gone past Simon Field, who's won. It's absolutely no slouch, Alex. He's won many races in this series.
Yeah, Field, very, very accomplished driver, and he's under a bit of pressure from Richard Gore, I think. No, Jamie Rushworth actually now got the better of the runs there. Oh, it's ebb and flowing really, really quickly out there right now.
Can Sebastian Job get past Laura Bond? Oh, and Field with a very late move, and he's almost made that one work. Can he carry the momentum now through turn 2? He just about did. He's got the outside on Rushworth, but Rushworth putting him under a lot of pressure. It looked like Field just completely missed his braking point, Alex.
Yeah, I think that is I think that's a perfect example of a missed overtake there. He had no choice but to put it up the inside and just hope that Sebastian saw him coming. Unfortunately, he did, and there was no incident there.
I know that Apex Racing TV management had a little word with Sebastian. Said that you can win this championship if you're just consistent and if you don't get into trouble. That was a perfect example there of good awareness.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't try and squeeze Fields into staying on the inside there. Just let him have it, and then just tuck back in onto the other side. So just having a quick look, Robert Fagg trying to make his way up as well. That's Robert in 13th there, just behind Dan Hunt. So he's having a great drive out there as well.
He's already done Steve Walker on this lap, but Steve Walker's going to try and come back on Fag here. Walker's going to have a look as Job's not really making inroads on Laura Bond at the moment, so Power Max Sim Racing looking better in this second race, aren't they?
Laura's actually closing in on the drivers ahead of her as well. If we just jump to Laura for a second. And you look at the previous lap times against Jay Wright, a 128.2 for Laura, a 129.7, and you can see them fighting ahead of her right now. She's going to close into them in no time at this rate.
She's actually the one that's dragging Sebastian along towards this lot. It's not a surprise here, because Laura Bond, she won the race on Sunday, didn't she? There's a social race that takes place a few days before the main meeting, and Laura won here, I believe, the other night, so she's got the pace in that car. She's still looking for her first win in the series. I don't think it's going to come today, but who knows?
Yeah, like you say, you never do know. Looking very, very strong right now, coming under a little bit of pressure again. Just look at
Job's having to push hard to stay with her. As Bond now, is she going to have to defend into the corkscrew? This is where Job needs to be a little judicious, and he is.
Oh, there's someone off there. Who's that off? Is that Whitehead?
Yeah, Whitehead off, and that's going to allow Roberts, his teammate, and Jay Wright to go through. May provide the opening for Bond and Job and Rushworth. And Oh, Laura's got a nice run through there. Is she going to have a go on Whitehead? But she's going to let... Oh, Job's going to have a look. Bit of contact between Bond and Whitehead. Job forced off and Rushworth forced off onto the runoff area.
Yeah, Rushworth's going to go around his teammate there, pick that place up. Still got a half a chance at getting Job. Laura Larkin perhaps back up the inside.
She doesn't want to hit Jamie there, but she controlled the braking well, and Rushworth round the outside. They need to get back single file, don't they, because it's just slowing them down at the moment. However, Whitehead...
Oh, Laura just got a little tap from field from behind there. Just saw her have to correct it while we were on board for a second.
Robert Fagg and Steve Walker side by side as well. And in fact, Alex, a lot of the quicker drivers now, they're all bunching up in the centre of the field. And it's... off goes Chepelevsky, I believe. Into the wall, and he's out.
Big crash there from Chepelevsky. Let's just take a quick look at that back on replay and see exactly what it was that caused that. Just trying to see what happened there. Do you know what? It's one of those examples of just like a little bit of contact on the rear quarter panel. Just sent him flying into the wall. Savidovic just got a little tag on him. And it just, that's pretty much his race over. So he'll be gutted.
Good defensive drive in there from Jay Wright through the final corner. He basically parked his car on the apex. Seb could do nothing but run into him. Also, Whitehead was slow through the final corner. Laura Bond hit him in the rear. And that meant that Simon Fields managed to go round Bond and possibly round Whitehead as well. Yes, he did make that move stick.